Alrighty. So we'll go. Over to you, Lisa.
Alright, last time on Whispers of a Crimson Dawn, the Bloody Nails disembarked the Albatross and we parted way with the Moorbreakers. And from there, we found lodging at the Lion. Along the way, Erendor spots a child of the Vowed Cubs, as well as some suspicious people. We don't take much note of that. And at the Lion, actually no, on our way, whilst talking to the Cubs, Valerian lets them know that we're back in town and ready to take up the job that they spoke about many moons ago. So we arrive at the Lion for food, mead, lodging, and a hot bath, and we eat and listen or gossip about the arrival of a large ship. So during this time, Valerian is stoic about his past and is curious how the Red Cloaks know him by another name. While that's happening, Kai chats with the local inn bard in regards to any stories about a Red Cloak named Corvus. No news was found, and Kai's motive for revenge against the Empire has deepened greatly. So after a drama-free night, we head out the next day for shopping, and we purchase a whole bunch of stuff. So after
2 hours of shopping go by.
Yeah, that's last one. Blast through that. After shopping, we decide to head to meet up with the Vowed Cubs, but we're followed by 3 Shadow Serpent gang members. We ambush them, and Valerian and Rio intimidate them and scare them off. Before we meet up with the Vowed Cubs, we weren't spending any time with them.
The true villains of the campaign. You'll see.
We accept the job from old Elisar as we finally arrive at their hideouts to safely transport Leah to Valmeriel. Elisar has heard that security will be tightened in Kamar and Imperial guests will be arriving. So we know that we should get out of Kamar as soon as possible. So to sweeten the deal, he offers us a set of braces of archery, which unfortunately Donda rolled low and wasn't able to get the ring of something something.
I think it was a pearl of power or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Donda trades his original stool that he got from Elisar for an upgraded cherry rose wood stool, which he greatly appreciates.
Carved off at the bottom.
Yeah. So Leah,
Now become a weapon.
a short weapon. Leah, a young girl with raven black hair and green eyes, joins our party to journey north to Valmiriel. Later that day, we leave the Cubs and we acquire a traveling cart and horse. Along our journey up north, I notice a large Imperial ship headed south. And that's it for the first day on our journey to Valmiriel. On the second day, magically, somehow Erendor receives word that the fine golds are well. Or we get word of the fine golds and notes that we need to stop by some ruins outside Farhaven.
Yeah, I think you got that while you're still in the city.
Oh, okay.
I think so. But anyway, doesn't matter too much.
that's what I recall anyway.
Somewhere along the way, yeah.
So we need to drop by some ruins later before we, or either, because I think, yeah, on the third day, we bump into a legion of 100 Imperial soldiers led by 5 Imperial hands. Very, very sticky situation, but Valerian, with his golden tongue, thoroughly persuades the hands that we're transporting his niece to family up north in Valmiriel, and we're hired mercenaries to escort them up.
You guys were rolling ballin'. You're like a 34 on your intimidation or something.
Something like that. They easily let us pass.
I had like a whole flow sheet for that encounter, and it's just like straight to the end. Oh dear.
So they let us pass after finding out the usual news that they know, or what we roughly know. They didn't let much, detailed knowledge of what they were doing down there, but we knew things were going down. So later the third day, we arrive at Farhaven, and that's where we left off.
All good. Thank you. Anyone else have any sort of thoughts or wanted to do anything over that sort of early morning, or do you want to just pick up as we get towards the city? All right. All good.
I just want to remind Erendor, we got to stop by some ruins before we arrive at Farhaven. You know where?
Not a clue, mate. Not a clue.
But you got the message.
Outside Farhaven, that's all I heard.
Alright, I better be blasting some good perception checks, hey?
So on that, you purchased a couple of horses and a wagon/cart. How do you guys imagine this cart looks? Is it like decently sized? Is it covered over the top? I'll let you guys sort of imagine it if you like.
In my head, it was just like an open top, like with a bit of canvas, but not like a soft top. We're not heading into the Wild West where you just grab the cart, put people in.
Cool. So sort of just like an open cart, and then maybe like just some sort of like canvas propped over the top of it or something if it starts raining.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah. Cool. And yeah, a couple of horses, which will be holstered up to the front of the wagon, and then a couple of you guys will be sitting up front and the rest in the back. Who would mainly be sitting up the front?
I guess I'll be driving.
Cool. It's Vale at the front. Anyone else at the front, or is everyone in the back?
I will sit up front with Vale, since I got really good perception.
Cool. All right.
In the back with my legs dangling off the back, watching
yeah.
behind us.
Yeah, nice. And Leah's in there with you. She's tucked into the back of the cart, sort of closest to the front, under the canvas, just sort of keeping to herself. She has like a little pouch, like a small little carry over the shoulder bag thing. And yeah, I mean, her clothing, she's got like a singlet that's sort of loose fitting. But underneath, as you would have seen throughout the days, she's got kind of like a smallish sort of leather, like a leather sort of chest protection thing. Obviously, when you're small, armor is difficult because you're going to be growing, so it's going to be going out of shape quite a lot. So this one is like, yeah, sleeves off. But yeah, she looks like she's got something there to try and protect herself if she gets into scuffles. And at the moment, as you're sort of rattling on down the road, she's just sort of keeping to herself, away with her thoughts. So yeah, we're going to pick up just as the city of Farhaven itself is coming into view. You're coming down from the top of a gentle slope. The wind is blowing in, freezing from the ocean. No rain or anything, no clouds. It's a fairly decent day, but it's still bitterly cold. There's like the odd seabird flying around and squawking. And in the distance, yeah, you can see the city of Farhaven itself. So, as you start heading closer, what you see is that the city is built out onto a peninsula that sort of juts out into the Gulf. There is no wall or like sort of protecting the city itself. It doesn't seem like it's quite large enough to be considered a major city that's required for defending and defense. But the density of the buildings, the way they're packed in together, sort of forms a natural sort of border to the city. The main road that you're on carries on just past the city itself. It just sort of cuts over to the left of the city, and it branches at a T intersection where that road will cut off into the main part of the city. To the other side of the road, towards the mainland, is just rolling fields of crops and pastures. At this time, in the middle of winter, the fields all look quite dead. There's, just blank dirt fields. Some of them you can see there are crops that have just been left to die after having already been harvested. And then across the fields, just dotted here and there, you can see little farmhouses, sheds, like little granaries and things like that. Yeah. So as you start rolling on down towards the city, unless you choose not to go towards the city, I assume you're carrying on down the road. Someone in the back at this point notices Leah has pulled out something from her bag. I guess this would be Dondar or Erendor sitting next to her. And it's like the small little octagonal brass box. And she pulls out a couple of small tools, and you can see her just sort of picking away at it, like she's almost trying to unlock it. A few moments go by, and you hear a little click, and she puts her picking tools away and pops it open, just looks into it for a few moments. After looking at it for a bit, she just kind of drifts off again, stares back out under the canvas towards the coastline. Still holding on to this little box though.
I would like to try and work out what it is.
All right, how are you going to do that?
First of all, you recognize what it looks like. Does it look familiar to yourself?
If I can't tell at a glance what it is, then I would like to ask her what it is that she's got.
Yeah, why don't you just
If she
roll
doesn't
a
mind sharing.
yeah? Why don't you roll a quick perception check or something like that, just to see if you can ascertain what it is. All right. So yeah, it looks like a slightly larger than normal locket of some kind, like the sort of thing you'd wear around your neck, and would probably hold a picture on the inside, because the top of it has popped open. With that sort of perception, you would have watched her actually unlocking it. She clearly doesn't have a key for it anymore, but she still keeps it. It must lock when it latches closed, but maybe she just uses it for practicing her lockpicking skills, or something else. Did you mention you wanted to ask her?
I feel like that's enough of a knowledge about it for now, for the moment.
Cool. All good. Yeah, she's sitting there. She hasn't really noticed, or at least hasn't shown that she's noticed that you're watching her, but she's chilling. Cool. So the cart carries on, rattling its way down the road. You, Valerian, and Kai up the front, just getting blasted in the face with the odd bit of sea spray, cold wind. I assume you're huddled together, almost blankets pulled around or something like that. As you start getting closer and closer towards the city, you come beside a farmhouse that's quite close to the road, actually. And Kai, with your pretty excellent passive perception, you notice on the back side of this farmhouse, the one facing you as you're coming towards it, there's this symbol, sort of like, it looks like it's almost been painted with black paint or tar or something that's just been splashed haphazardly on it. Would you like to roll a perception check for me to see if you can make out what it is?
I would like to tap Valerian on the shoulder to halt the cart. I'd like to jump down and then do a closer inspection.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can right into a slow and hop down and take a look. Yeah, I mean, I guess no roll needed then if you're going to wander over. There doesn't appear to be anyone living in the building at the moment. There is no smoke coming from the chimney up the top, and you don't see anyone else wandering around, but it's not to say there isn't anyone inside. As you get closer...
Wait. I like to motion Erendor to come. I go, check for traps for me. I'm paranoid.
Oh boy, I've scarred you guys. Sure.
Yep.
I guess, I guess roll a... What would this be? Just a investigation? To have a look around to see if anything looks dodgy? I mean, yeah. Barren fields. Farmhouse looks roughly abandoned. Like there's no one in there at the moment. Other than that, seems alright. You have to probably head off the road 30 feet or so, 30, 40 feet, something like that. It's not bang up straight against it. You gonna wander over, Lisa? Or Kyle, I should say?
Yeah, no. The symbols on the wall or the...
Yeah.
I like to motion everyone around. Anyone recognize this symbol?
Well, as you're kind of getting closer to it, you do actually kind of recognize it in some sense. It looks like... Actually, why don't I sort of draw it for you? Let's see if this works. Sort of like this.
Dundar thinks he knows what it is.
Looks like a funny triangle. Sort of like a dagger without a hilt.
Kind of, yeah. It's sort of like that. Like there's a big splash of paint up here in this sort of like angle, and then two lines like this drawn that come to a neat point. It's probably more like this, actually. They're probably not quite that thick. Something like that.
I swear to God, if we're seeing nail graffiti already.
Oh, is it now graffiti? Oh my god.
Very well could be that, yeah.
Dundar believes so.
Is that what you were thinking, Dondar?
That is what I was thinking.
That's not what I was thinking about. Can I touch it and see if it's kind of semi-fresh?
Yeah, go for it. You reach out, touch it a little bit. It's not like it probably wasn't done today. Maybe in the last day or so. It's quite cold out here by the ocean, so
it's recent. Okay.
It seems pretty fresh, yeah.
Ooh.
Nails in the coffin of the Empire have begun to fall.
That's kind of cool. Wait, so that means someone knows. Like the word has spread so faster than the boat. Word has traveled already.
So you would have probably discussed on the ship as you were traveling back. All of the fleet sort of spread out to drop people off. One of the ships would have dropped off groups of people at different cities inside the Gulf of Muriel itself. So likely there have already been people in the city for about a week.
That's cool. Okay. I'd like to do a, I guess, investigation check inside the farmhouse for anything interesting.
So if you go around to the front and try the door, it's locked.
All right. It's locked from the outside. Okay. Well, all right. I have no skills for this. I go. Yeah, I motion out. Door's locked. Anyone want to give it a crack?
Do we really want to break into a random farmhouse?
Actually, you know what? I'll knock on the door first. I'll be polite. I'll knock.
Wait a few moments. Don't hear anything on the inside.
I knock again. Anyone home?
No, it doesn't seem like it.
My lord, if only we knew of someone that could pick a lock. Oof.
All right.
I think a fireball would do it.
Well, I was referring to the small child in the back of the
Takes
cart.
that dynamite.
Oh yeah, that's a hella good idea. Hey Leah,
Yes.
you want some practice
Practice with what?
with your lock picking skills?
All right. Well, what are we doing?
We're just gonna have a quick look and see if there's anything wrong with this house. It's been marked with a symbol that seems to be related to us somehow, potentially related to us.
All right. Sure, if you say so. She hops down off the cart, runs over, sort of jogs over to the house and sneaks around, pulls out her tools, and all right, I can actually do this because I made her a character sheet. This will be...
All right, I turn around. I'd like to do a perception check around, like, the area in case this is like a trap or something.
I think that... I can probably just do this because she has expertise with it. She rolls a 17. 17 is enough.
Damn, girl.
Very, very quickly, in no time at all, just a minute, and the door pops open. She sort of starts creaking it open with her hand and starts looking around on the inside and then stops herself and just sort of steps back. She's almost instinctively about to wander in, but kind of remembering that she's here with you, she just steps back and waits for you. And Kai, you're doing a quick look around with a perception 26?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for any, like, because we're surrounded by farmland and stuff, there's going to be, like, hay and things. See if there's anyone waiting in ambush, like, around this random building.
Yeah, pretty open field. There's, like, this field looks like the sort of one where it's the excess crops that have sort of died off now. There's a scarecrow dotted out there in the middle of the field, and a raven is currently sitting on top of it. Other than that, you don't see any people around. It would be hard to hide out here.
Raven. Just looking at my spells quickly. Nope, don't have it prepared. Alright, all good. I just want to hold lookout. You guys want to investigate the house? Just be careful. It was locked, maybe trapped.
I'm just walking in. No hazard at all.
Erendor wanders on in. Leah will wait a moment, but then she will, just kind of curiosity takes her a bit and she will wander in after you as well. Just kind of keeping close behind you. You barely hear her footsteps, but kind of just with your perception, just kind of feel her presence almost. And looking around on the inside, it looks like the place has been sort of tidily packed away in some sense. Like imagine a place where you would use it for work, and then work is finished, chairs are put to the side, all the drawers are closed up. There's a set of stairs that go up to a second level. That's sort of like a mezzanine floor. Up there, you can see there's just like a few more tables and chairs and things like that with some windows to look out into the crops. It looks very much like a working house. There's no bedroom or anything like that. There's a small cooking area, there's living area, and then there are just all sorts of like tool cabinets and workbenches and things like that. But everything has all been packed away for the winter, it seems. Other than that, there isn't really anything too interesting.
There's no rug on the floor.
There's no rug on the floor, no.
I was hoping Erendor would find a trapdoor headed down or something, a cellar door or something.
Yeah.
All right, I'll keep eyes outside while you guys clear the farmhouse.
All right.
If there's nothing much of interest in, then I guess I'll head back.
Cool. Alrighty. Erendor comes back out. Leah's following behind. And start making your way back towards the cart. Kai, you good? You following as well?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was wondering if it'd be a good idea if we relock the door just as practice, so it seemed like no one came in, you know?
Leah will just silently go to the door and lock it again after having already worked on it. She's familiar with the lock and it's easy enough to click it back into place.
Cool.
Groovy.
Good skills.
Yep. All right.
So yeah, I jump back on the wagon, on the cart, and keep my lookout for ruins if I see any along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping in mind that we got word that we should check them out before we enter the next city.
Well, you can see the city now, and looking around the fields, you don't see any ruins where you are. It's just sort of open pastures off to the west, and the ocean is on your east.
Interesting. All right. Maybe it's on the other side. Maybe.
All right. The cart takes off again. The horses get the reins, give them a little flick, and they start trotting down. Have you guys given your horses names?
If we give them names, then they die.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I won't give you ammunition against them.
True. All right, cool. So you start making your way down the road towards the main city itself, getting closer and closer. Is there any other final thoughts or anything before you make it into the city? What's your plan here? Are you going to just come straight through the road? Are you going to try and get into the city? Are you going to make a detour around it? Otherwise, I'll assume you'll stick to the main road.
What's the time of day?
I'd say it's about midday at this point when you're arriving.
You can stop, get some lunch. I'm sure the locals would know about nearby ruins.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
But the town doesn't look too hot. Well, there's no wall, so I don't think there's going to be much in the way of guards. But...
Maybe a city watch, maybe?
All right.
Let's head straight to town, get some food.
Cool. So you start getting closer to town. As you get closer, the farmhouses, there's a few more that are slightly more densely, packed together. Getting closer towards this T-junction, it's almost like there's like a mini sort of, I don't know, like a small little community that sort of just has cropped up around the intersection itself. And as you get closer to the intersection, Erendor, you notice Leah sort of hiss as she's leaning out the cart and just sort of resting her head on her elbows and just kind of looking. But you hear a hiss and she almost tenses up, and like her hand almost goes and like grips into your arm, and her fingers like start digging in. Kai, from up here on top, you notice something as you're getting close to the junction.
Here we go.
At the junction itself, you notice a bit of a crowd has gathered, maybe a dozen or so people that have been sort of wandering over and looking at something. As you start getting closer, I want you to roll a perception check to see how much you can see.
All right. How close am I away from this cloud based on my elevation off the cart?
I'd say you're probably 100 to 200 feet away.
Okay, so 30 to 60 meters. All right.
Something like that, yeah.
Once I hit, what is it? 150 feet. I'll do a perception check.
Yeah, take a good look. You'll see a bunch of stuff. It'll just depend how much you do see. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I see everything,
You
buddy.
see everything. At the junction, just off it, on the dirt beside the road, you see a hastily and crudely constructed wooden gallows, and there are currently four guards standing around
Oh, it's the beheading.
in the
or
middle
there's-
of hoisting a woman's body, up by the neck to hang, to join two other men who are already hanging there. With the 27, you can see the first man who's hanging, clearly dead, has got a sign hanging around his neck on a bit of wooden plank that says rabble rousing. The man next to him says conspiring for treason. And the woman that is currently getting hoisted, you can see the guards sort of like heaving on it as it gets pulled up and up. The sign on her neck says attacking Imperial soldiers.
Do I recognize the lady by any chance?
No, I don't think you do.
We've already got a
No.
bounty on our heads. I'd like to tap Valerian on the shoulder and go, they're going to kill somebody, but we're already in pretty deep. What should we do?
How big's the crowd?
A dozen or so people. Just like people are sort of starting to come around, in twos or threes every now and then. People are starting to join the crowd to get a closer look.
The quick glance at the guards, the uniformed official empire.
Why don't you roll a perception check for me as well?
Well, one eye.
Okay. They don't look like the soldiers. They don't appear to be wearing the same sort of plate that the soldiers were wearing on the road that you'd met a day or so earlier. Possibly just standard city guards.
Do I notice any hands about?
No, we'll use your perception check from before. No hands seem to be around.
All right.
You said you're about 100, 150 out.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
about 100 at this point.
Quickly glance to the party. Anyone able to keep it hanging for a bit longer? Or she chokes out? Have to wait? Undo the rope? Any sort of thing?
In this range.
Let me think.
What do you want to do? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Undo the rope invisibly or lift her up.
Does-
She doesn't go instantly. They're doing it a slow hanging if they're dragging her up and not dropping, so we've got a little bit of time to close the distance, but not much.
If I can get 60 feet, I can do hold person. Will that suspend her above the ground?
No,
I mean,
no, that'll make it worse.
oh, okay.
You hear a scream,
can-
and a woman pushes through the crowd, and you hear saying, "No, no, Juliana, no, she did nothing, nothing." And this woman is trying to like push her way through this crowd, and she starts lunging towards one of the guards. He promptly pushes her back and smashes her in the face with the hilt of his sword. And the other one steps forward and says, "Ah, lads, looks like we've got another one who wants to join the decorations, eh?" They start converging on her as she's on the ground.
We're getting involved.
Yeah, that's a
we
good
are.
question. Oh, we are?
Yeah. Maybe not outright combat, but we are definitely getting involved.
All right.
Card would be kept moving once we get to maybe pick up a bit of pace, but not like full speed, so it's not hugely obvious.
How accurate is my firebolt?
Firebolt?
Yeah.
You have to roll an attack roll
Cantrip.
for it. Yeah. So it'll be a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Like if I wanted to try something like sniping the rope with the firebolt
Yep.
without killing her, is that?
You could try.
Well,
yeah.
Actually, I just have to make the guards drop the rope, don't I? Since she's not held.
True.
You tell me. Yeah.
Well,
Well, that sounds like that's what's been described.
Yeah. So she's got a noose around her neck, and two guards are currently like pulling. Well, actually, it's just one because she's quite small. One is pulling on the rope to like start lifting her up towards the top of the gallows, and the other two are now converging on the woman that's been pushed to the ground. Leah has come around. Sorry, just inside the cart, and she's looking horrified, and like she's always been quite a stoic, sort of grim girl. She's kept to herself a lot, but now you can see a lot of emotion on her face, and she's just turning to you guys inside the cart and saying, "We have to do something. We have to do anything. We have to help her."
All right, seems.
Quickly hand the reins to a little dwarven friend who I can see is getting very antsy. And I hold that thought, quickly slip off the back of the cart, undo the red cloak that I've got wrapped around my waist. Quickly sort of move towards the crowd as quick as I can without being obvious and slip it on once I've broken a little bit of sight.
All right.
Seeing Valorant do that, cast disguise self on myself to match a red cloak and human appearance.
Oh, hell yeah.
Does the disguise self change your clothing as well? I think it does, right?
It does. Yeah. It's basically just like an illusionary skin.
Yeah. Including your clothing, armor, and weapons. You can look exactly like a hand if you want.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Right.
And with the most, and I'll wait. Does it make my? It doesn't change the appearance of my equipment, does it?
No, it does. It says your armor and weapons and other belongings.
I want my sword to become the most glowing, like. Oh, no, actually, no. I wouldn't have seen a glowing sword, would I? I did disregard that. Just
hands don't use magic weapons anyway.
Just hand appearance and human face.
All right. Are
So
you jumping
Jongar
down?
shouldn't make him fly to appear more imposing.
Well, you'd have to touch me for fly, don't you?
Yes.
All right. This
Yeah,
is all happening quite
I'm
quickly now.
gone.
So
I'm gone.
the two guards are now converging on the woman on the ground. Valorant, have you jumped off the cart and heading towards?
Yep.
Rio's close behind.
Close the distance without being super obvious that I'm running to get there.
Okay, cool.
And as I get closer, and like I said, not hugely obvious, I'll slip the cloak on.
Yep. Just roll a basic stealth check, just to see if anyone notices you coming.
Clank, clank, clank.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nearly a 20.
It wouldn't have mattered. Disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
While Valoran and Rio are heading through the crowd, what are the rest of you doing?
Saying with like
Erendor's
Yes.
with Leah.
I'm going to stay on the cart.
Okay.
Oh.
All right,
Jongar
cool.
is galloping the horses. It's a inconspicuous fast speed towards the platform.
Oh, so you're going to take control of the cart and start heading it towards?
Well, I have been given the reins. I could just let them run, but you know.
All right. Valoran, with an 8, you are not very quiet heading through the crowd. You're sort of pushing your way through. And as you're getting through, you're able to slip on the cloak. But the two guards do look up and see you pushing through. It's causing a bit of a commotion. And as they're just about to like get over and put their hands on this woman on the ground, they see you pushing through and they look up at you and they go, "Oh, what the fuck? What are they doing here?
And shit their pants.
What's going on, sir?"
You fucking tell me. How the fuck are we meant to get information out of corpses?
Well, they were disrespecting the guard of the city. What are we supposed to do? We need to teach these people some lessons. That's what we were told.
If you fucking disrespecting the guard, I'll fucking disrespect the guard. Get these people down here right fucking now before I string you up.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage because you're all cloaked out.
Yeah, I'm just waving my sword behind you.
Oh yeah.
Advantage, because apparently when you shift click it doesn't do that. And I'll add a D8 to that with a commanding presence.
Go for it.
Hang on, I just need to quickly check. Is this the same day that we had the check before?
Different day.
Oh yeah, I wanted to know that too for spell slots.
Yeah, no, you're good. Different day.
Not great. 15.
15. I'll roll. I'll roll to see this dude's morale. hearing that, he does back up a bit and steps away from the girl. Doesn't necessarily immediately go to start pushing anyone down though. He's kind of looking at you like, all right. I mean, we're just doing what we're told. We need to get the crowds under control, right?
Yes, because riots are a good way to fucking calm the people down. Jesus Christ. They're teaching people out here.
Oh, well, what are we supposed to do then?
How about, for one, you disperse the crowd that you've just created.
Oh, right.
We'll take care of these two. See if we can get some answers.
The guards sort of come together. All right, the rest of you guys, get out. Clear out from here. Nothing to see. Get out. They draw their swords and start waving them threateningly in the faces of the people. People will start
Put
backing
them
away.
away, numbnuts.
Well, how else are you supposed to clear a crowd?
Without inciting violence.
All right, well, the crowds have at this point already started to disperse anyway. I think the sight of the hands rocking on up to this party has made everyone a touch nervous. And the crowd is thinning. We'll just jump back over to the people on the cart. What are you guys up to? At this point, if you're carried on at the same speed, I would say you're probably just coming parallel to the gallows at this point. Are you going to carry on past, or are you going to come to a hold?
I reckon we should slow and be curious, but continue and not stop.
All right.
Sounds good to me. I poke Donda and go, we'll slow look and we'll park around the corner from here.
Rubbernecking begins.
The one of the guards like kind of just keeps an eye on the cart as it's going, and he almost takes a step towards it as he sees it slowing down to make sure it carries on. But as you say, you carried on to go around the corner or something behind a building. Carry on past.
While the cart's slowing down.
Yep.
Did you guys search these two before you hung them up at least?
There's nothing to search. They're just beggars. They're nobodies.
Fuck's sake. Cut them down. Dwarf, need your cart. We need to get these bodies out here and a closer look at them. Commandeering you in the name of the Empire.
I'm not behind the building at this point.
The cart has just been going past. That's like it's slowly going past it.
Grab them while they're rubbernecking.
Kick up a stink.
Donda stops the cart and gives the hand the filthiest look he can muster.
Yeah. I've seen it all before.
You in the back of the cart, make room. Move up to the front of the cart.
We'll bundle the two bodies in as well as the unhanged and the half-hanged.
So you're gonna cut them down?
Yep.
All right. The three guards kind of step back and just sort of watch a little bit sheepishly as you start going about your business. One of them sort of scratching his head like, it's a bit odd, isn't it? But you can cut down to, 3 bodies now at this point. The 2 are long dead. They've been hanging for a day. They were probably hung this morning. The 3rd, you can see she's like sort of at this point kicking her feet, and you just get to cut her down, and she stumbles and she's sort of like coughing and gagging. The other woman who has run off after being knocked to the ground, she's you can see her, I guess, some distance away, starting to wander closer. Yeah.
So while they're doing that, I'll distract the guards from thinking too much by pulling them up and giving a full drill sergeant dressing down.
Yeah. All good.
Information. Dead bodies don't give information. Information is what we need.
All right.
We can't deal with fucking insurgents without information. Rah, 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 rah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we tried to ask them. They didn't know anything, and yeah, blah blah blah. These guys, they suck. Cool. So what are we doing with the bodies? Do you want to get all of them into the cart?
Yep.
All right. So you can, I guess, together between you, take the 2 corpses, jump them into the back. Throw them into the back. Someone said for the rest of you guys to get up to the front? It's probably won't.
Leah up to the front, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I told them to move to the front of the cart, so we put the bodies in the back.
All right, cool. So Leah's sitting on the front, so she doesn't have to see this. The two bodies get thrown into the back, and the woman who, by the sounds of things, name was Juliana. She's just like sort of clutching at her throat, just barely struggling to breathe. You can help her up to her feet and help her over to the cart as well. As you're doing that, you do notice the other woman, like sort of slowly coming towards her, but yeah, she's keeping a distance. She's kind of terrified of people in red cloaks, understandably.
But this is the crossroads before we go into town.
Yeah, so you'll be looking like this. This will be happening here.
Yeah. So we get everyone loaded, finish dressing down the guards, send them off to disperse the crowd, and then make some distance at a reasonable but not quick pace, because running people are guilty.
All right. So you've got the woman you saved and the two bodies, and you start.
The other one, yeah, probably easier to leave than try and chase a person down that isn't going to cooperate.
All right. The cart rolls away. I think at this point, some of you are probably going to need to wander beside it because the back will be getting a bit busy now. But if you go at a slow sort of pace, I think you'll be fine. All right. How far past? So you're gonna carry on up the road past the thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. How far do you want to go?
I'm going to try and break line of sight if possible.
Okay, cool. The road, it's not super easy to break line of sight, I would say. It's kind of a flat rolling sort of a landscape, but you can probably get far enough away along the road that people would stop paying attention. There's farmhouses here and there. You could just sort of break line of sight behind a few, clusters of farmhouses, maybe. Just pull off the road.
Yeah. Can make sure the guards aren't watching the strange procession leave.
Yeah.
Probably tough as fuck, but hopefully I scared them enough.
They watch for a little bit, and they're super fucking confused, but, they... What do you do when you're faced with, like, literal near death from, the best soldiers on the land? You're a bit stunned and a bit shocked, so I think they just kind of sheepishly wander away.
As we break sight, and I'll stow the cloak. Anyone got a healing spell for this lady? Looks like she's had a bit of a time.
Yes, I'll do a once over. Let's see. I will cast. What shall I cast? Oh yeah, I'll cast a healing word on her.
All right. She's sort of kneeling or sitting in the back of the cart. You can come around. She's clutching in her throat, and as you mention your word or call upon the goddess, she seems to get a feeling of relief, and her expression becomes less pained. She coughs a little bit, and you hear her breathing start to become a bit easier.
Cool.
Oh, that was a near one.
She's looking at the rest of you now, kind of just taking in what happened. Ria, are you still in your disguise?
If he took it off, I would have dropped it.
All right, cool. So seeing that, she's looking around now, and she's cringing away from the bodies as well in the cart, looking at you guys. And who the hell are you guys? What was that back there? How did you do that? How did you look like one of them?
I don't know how he did it, but just did it the old-fashioned way. People see the colour; they don't look at the faces.
Fair enough. She's eyeing you a bit nervously, Rio.
I'm just making sure everything's tucked away where it's supposed to be tucked away.
Well, regardless of...
My ears, you ass.
Well, regardless, I guess, of your motives or how on earth you did that, I guess. Thank you for saving me. I didn't have long there.
What was that all about anyway?
Oh God, it's the
Got on a
last
bit of a warpath.
yeah, the last week or so. The city's just been clamping down on anything and everything. People are being arrested for no reason at all. People being searched and thrown down on the street. It's horrible. Not long. I'd say, yeah, half a week. An entire legion of soldiers came in, just plonked themselves in the middle of the city, and they're just going door to door, checking everyone. I didn't do anything wrong. I was literally just in my shop, minding my own business. They came in, and they grabbed me. They grabbed me and took me out.
A column, you say?
Inside check.
All right, go for it. Is this an inside check to see if she is lying about whether or not she did anything bad?
Whether or not she's completely innocent of the accusations, or whether she was doing a bit of rebel rousing.
I mean, she seems more or less like she's telling the truth. It's kind of hard to tell, I guess. She's a bit shocked, speaking kind of wildly.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if the locals were using anything as a chance to clamp down on any unpaid bribes.
At this stage, I look to Leah and I say, "Do you know this lady?"
Leah kind of bends over around the side of the car and has a look. No, I don't think so. I haven't been this way in years.
Insight check.
Oh my God, go for it.
Why did you tell us to help?
I would guess that she knows a certain someone who got hanged, a certain someone whose face is in a locket.
She seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah, I ask, why did you rouse us to help her?
What do you mean? Of course we'd help them, wouldn't we?
I guess. Not too sure right now.
Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, but
Yeah, but the Empire, they're scum. They should all be killed. We've got to do whatever we can to help the people, right? This is a bit of an outburst. She kind of bites her lip and, she's not used to talking too much, so she lowers her head.
Dondar pats her on the head.
She looks up at you.
and looks down at him.
He actually is somewhat high, I guess. She looks at you through her eyelashes and just has a slight smile.
I just nod and go, sometimes.
Alright, there'll be plenty of killing before long. Well, I've got a sneaking feeling that you probably won't be making it back to that shop anytime soon.
Well, I suppose you're right. I mean, what am I supposed to do then? I can't just leave the city.
I don't know what other options you have. Going back to
Don't
the
have
city.
much choice.
We're going to end up with you back on the end of the rope again.
Well, I guess I should probably go back and find Aradale. Yeah. Well, we'll have to figure something out. Are you just gonna let me go?
Do we look
As
like
long
it?
as you know who's done this for you.
All right. Well, I guess whoever you are, you're my angels today. Thank you.
Actually, can we get a name? We don't know who you are.
Me? Oh, I'm Juliana. I've a shop here in Farhaven.
Well,
Do you know anything about the legion of soldiers that arrived? Where they are? What they're doing?
Yeah, not much. They seem to have kind of, popped up into the garrison here in the city, and they just sort of every morning just head out into the streets and just, I don't know, law and order. They do a bit of intimidation. They seem to be trying to lock down the city, put everyone into a state of stress and panic, but they're definitely humpering down in the city, that's for sure. Humpering is not a word. What's the word I was looking for?
Hunkering.
Hunkering, there we go.
You know of the real Red Hands that were with them?
Oh yeah, a couple of red cloaks did come in with them.
You know where they are?
Same place, I imagine, yeah, inside the garrison.
The garrison. And where is that?
Oh, it's right in the center of the city.
Center of the city. Excellent.
You planning on going in on a little killing spree, are you? Clear the soldiers out, free the city?
I think of myself as a delivery dwarf. I bring fireballs to those who need them most.
She laughs at this. All right, well, unless there's anything else, unless there's anything I can do for you, I guess I better get back to Aradale. I imagine she's worried.
What kind of shop do you have?
Me? Oh, it's just a linen shop. Yeah, make clothes, make fabric.
Oh.
Actually,
There's
Just-
any ruins around.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Say that again. Sorry.
Any ruins?
Ruins.
Around the city.
No, I mean the city doesn't seem to be ruined. I don't think. Most of the parts. Oh, you mean you're not talking about the ruins out in the old forest, are you?
We might be. We're going to meet up with someone there, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, not many people go out there anymore. Those woods are a bit dark and scary, to be honest. But yeah, there's some ruins out there. I remember heading out there when I was a kid, playing in amongst the trees, big old rocks and all sorts. Yeah, that might be what you're looking for.
I'll get her to give us clearer directions.
I'll pull up a map. Can you mark it for us, roughly?
Roll intimidation. No, I'm kidding. She says that if you carry on up the road for just a couple of miles, you'll find a large obelisk over by the shoreline. Just directly in from there inland, there's a kind of a soft sort of track that heads in towards the forest. It's not a well-worn track, but it's probably good enough just for your cart to make it through. I imagine if you follow that straight into the heart of the forest, you'll start finding the ruins. Yeah.
All right, I just penciled that in on the map, roughly.
Cool.
Wouldn't happen to know who these two poor saps are, would you?
No, I can't say. Do. I'm afraid.
That's fair enough. Well, at least we can do for him is take him out there, give him a good burial.
Hmm.
Or whatever the burial customs of this country are.
Yeah, burial's fairly standard. Keep the pestilence at bay.
Mhm.
All right. Well.
You should definitely avoid the guards. They're probably realizing something a bit fucky happened there, but you never know. They're still going to jump you if they see you walking through town.
Yeah. Maybe the best bit is to leave town, honestly. Where did you all come from? Should we head there? Did you come up from the south?
Yes, do not head south. We came across a large troop of men headed south. I mean, Imperial
for
soldiers.
God's sake. Really?
Yeah.
Where do you think they went, guy?
Well, they don't know. They don't know. They could have went southwest, southeast, whatever.
Right, I'll keep that in mind.
We're going to be a bit messy, but I think as long as you stay away from the locals, you'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll chat with Aradale. Maybe we can lie low, or maybe the safest bet is to head up to Valmerial, larger city. Maybe it's easier to to get by. We'll see. All right, well, once again, thank you for everything you did. Hey, we won't forget this for sure. If you do ever end up in Farhaven, just make sure you swing by Juliana's Textiles. We'll keep an eye out for you, yeah? All right.
Well, we can.
Oh,
Bloody nails send you on your way. You're a little salute.
all right. And she, with that, starts wandering off back towards the junction. All right. Cool. So, I guess at this point, what are you guys doing? You've got a couple of corpses in the back of your cart.
Yeah, not
And
very
a direct
sanitary.
Yeah.
We're heading to a forest, so we'll off when we get there and feed some trees.
Sweet. All right, cool. Do you guys want to take a 10-minute break? And then we'll come back and see what happens in the forest.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you want.
All right. Catch you in a sec, eh?
Bring back Lenny.
Lenny's in the forest.
He's in there. Don't worry.
Living it up.
cool. So, I guess let's pick up with the cart, and you're all heading on down the road. A couple of you are walking beside it, a couple of corpses in the back, and the rest of you scattered amongst the rest of the room in the cart in the front. You can travel onwards along the main road north for a mile or so, 2 miles maybe, until you see you come up over a little hill and down the other side. And that's when you notice, up in front, there's this kind of big, weird-looking stone structure sticking up on the coastline. Kind of impossible to miss. Maybe like 100 feet tall. Like, it's a decently tall structure. And as you get closer and closer, this music is way too stressful for what's happening right now. There we go. You get closer to it, and as you get closer towards it, you notice and you recognize that it's kind of like, it looks like a big tall stone that's been stood up on its side. It's not made of bricks, so it doesn't look like it's been hand constructed, but the sides are shaped in a way that probably couldn't be possibly natural, and it's weathered. It's centuries old probably, and it's just standing there, imposing, unrelenting in the wind. You can get up close to it, have a look around, and indeed, after getting the directions from the woman, you can notice that there is a very, very faint track that heads inland from this point. Towards, now, after coming down the other side of the hill, you can see far in the distance, several miles ahead, faint scatterings of the edge of a forest out on the plains beyond.
Usually as good a place as any, I guess, to give these guys a tombstone.
Cool.
I'll pull up the cart, jump off, and move away from the road a bit. Dig some shallow graves.
All right, cool. Do people have like a shovel or something? Have a quick look.
I have a stool.
Yeah.
I've got a two-handed claymore.
I don't have a shovel. Oh, actually, I have a torch. No shovel. You know, I hinted, don't I? You know, you like fireball the ground, blow a hole in the ground.
Surely someone's got something. Otherwise, you might need to just make a can.
I got a crowbar. I believe I got a crowbar.
I do have a crowbar.
Here's a
Sonda
crowbar.
makes a note to pick up a spade.
Yeah.
Next in town.
You
Shovels
can
are handy.
soften dirt. Well, it's a shallow grave, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there scattered stone around?
Yeah, you could like shorefront beach stones and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Use a crowbar to soften the ground for a couple inches and then drop them in.
Cool.
Pile the dirt back over with a few rocks.
Yeah. Rocks on top. All good.
Quick check as we're burying them. Nothing identifiable. They're just...
Yeah, just sort of peasant clothing. It looks like they've already probably been stripped of all their possessions.
Actually,
No leftover marks on them of chains from a certain bridge building crew.
No, they do not appear to be having like cuffs or feet cuffs, or actually I think they had neck cuffs back at Skyreach, so no. But they're quite bruised in several places all over their body. One of them has like a black eye. Another one has like heavy lacerations on their back.
Any tattoos or brandings?
No, don't think so.
These were just poor folk that got caught up.
Yeah, something like that. All right, cool. As this is happening, Erendor, do you want to roll me a perception check? Oh, that's quite good.
good job.
Okay,
Damn, son.
I'll roll this on the table. I'll roll this on the table.
You need to close those eyes now and again.
Um. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, 1 second.
Yes.
As you're kind of standing around and watching the few people starting to dig out the graves and pile up the stones and stuff like that, Erindor, you notice a latch on your bag or on your belt or something like that, like sort of flicker, sort of flap a little bit. Like something's moving. And if you turn around to look, you'll notice that Leah has just sort of been shadowing you again. And she's reaching for your dagger. Your nice dagger that has a raven pommel.
I'm going to just grab her wrist and. Yeah, excuse me.
She's just oh, sorry, I just thought that looked quite pretty. I wanted to have a quick look at it. Oh, people don't normally catch me.
Ask next time.
All right.
And I'll give it to her to have a look.
Oh, thank you. You must have very good eyes or something. Maybe I'm just getting clumsy in the cold weather. And she
You're not.
she just turns it over a bit, unsheaths it a little bit, and just looks at it. All right. Holes are dug. People are buried. And you can jump back on the carts and head off if there's nothing else you guys wanted to do or chat about.
It's a big rock. I don't know if this is racist, but it's an interesting big rock, dwarf.
Are there any inscriptions on the rock? Is there anything I can observe?
Yeah, why don't you roll a... what would it be? You could roll a...
Arcana check.
Give me both an investigation check and a history check, and I'll see what I can give you. Oh shit, nearly just knocked over my tea.
Isn't there a rule for stonework with dwarves?
Oh yeah, he's
trying to remember what
proficient in
Stone cunning?
rock stuff.
Yeah, I think you get advantage on a history or something like that.
Anything made of like stone, he gets advantage or something like that.
Trying to
Is it?
out what it is for 5.
Donda?
Whenever you make a
Maybe
history
make an
check,
intelligent.
yeah, history check relating to origin stonework, you are considered proficient, and you can double your proficiency bonus.
Oh, that's extra.
So,
Double
yeah.
proficiency bonus.
So with your history, just roll it, and we'll add a +3 to it.
Okay.
+3 be +6 because it's double. Proficiency bonus to the check.
It would be because he's already proficient with it, so he gets a +3, and then you get to add proficiency gain on top. I think is how I read it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And add double your proficiency. Yeah. Cool. And investigation. All right. So you can get up and close and quite have a look at it. Other than what the others had sort of ascertained as well, you get the feeling that the rock probably isn't naturally formed, which is confusing because it's shaped in a way. It's got squared corners and stuff like that. With the history check, probably not quite good enough to give you everything. But what I will tell you is that, I guess from just stories that have been passed down through your family and through other people that you've worked with in your life, you would know that the ancient civilizations who lived on this land had incredible cities, which have all now sort of tumbled away to ruins. And they had a way of working with stone that has been lost. And possibly this is what one of those was. It was some larger structure or a singular structure that had been shaped out of pure rock or created on the spot, something like that. But as to the exact purpose of what this was, you're probably not quite sure.
What time of day is it?
Probably just after midday. Yeah.
So the spire isn't casting a shadow?
It's winter, so the sun will be low in the sky, so there's a bit of a shadow. Yep.
Is this pointing anywhere conspicuous? Anywhere
Oh
that
boy,
could be taken as something?
you're gonna have to make me think now. It will be. I think the shadow would be pointing north if it's winter here, because you're in the northern hemisphere. So the sun would be below you, right? I think that's right. If like,
In this world?
yeah. So here's the spire.
How many
here's the
suns
ocean.
in this world?
Yeah. This is east. This is west. I think the sun would be going like this, right? Because you're up here in the northern hemisphere, and it's winter right now. So the shadow would be like this. I think that's right.
The sun's above you. There's no shadow.
No, but in the winter, there's
The sun sets earlier.
the path of the sun is like further off to the side. It's not directly above you unless it's
I
summer.
know. I'm just being cheeky.
You're messing.
It's not a giant sundial.
Yeah.
I guess
It was worth checking.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea.
Does Donda recognize what type of stone it's made constructed out of?
I don't think so. No.
Like a stone shape.
Yeah, some sort of stone.
I will.
I mean, I could cast Identify on it. I don't think it would do anything though. Unless it is magic and we just don't know.
You can do a what's it called? Not a ceremony, a ritual.
A what?
Can't you ritual cast detect magic? Or I can do that technically,
So
It's-
can I.
Yeah.
and then you'll see if it's magic. Detect magic. How about we all do it? Everyone do ritual cast detect magic.
Oh boy.
That's not how detect magic works, though.
D&D.
Is it?
Detect magic.
We just want
If
to
you
sense if it's magical. Isn't that
Oh,
the-
sorry. Yes.
I thought that's how it works, right?
Sorry, I got mixed up between the two for a second.
Yeah, so Identify won't do it. Detect magic might if it.
Identify will tell
constant.
you any magical property that an object has, and like why and what it is. It'll basically tell you everything about it. Detect magic will just tell you if there are traces of magic on something or within an area. Like detect magic creates an aura around you, and you just kind of like a sonar can tell where magic is.
You know what? I will ritual cast detect magic in 30 feet of the thing and see if there's anything magical around it
All right,
as well.
cool. So you cast it. What does your ritual look like, Kai?
What does it look like?
Yeah, how do you do your 10-minute ritual?
I touch my what's it called stone? My stone that's on the star that's my star map. And I close my eyes and I imbue it with power.
Cool. You just focus on it for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Great. You feel the aura around you slowly starting to widen over the period of time. And from the get-go, you don't notice anything particularly magic about it, but I will get you to roll me an Arcana check.
I was waiting for this. But it does not roll high.
It's not great. You've got no idea what it is, what it even could possibly be or mean, but it's just the faintest trace of magic coming from it. Just the faintest trace. It's like,
I just nod to Donda. It's magical, slightly.
yeah, something old that's kind of been lost to time. It's like when you're walking around in a city and you can smell a bread shop or something like that from like 7 blocks away. It's like, oh, I just caught a whiff of, something like that.
You think it's worth burning a spell slot to identify it?
Or nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, we seem to have been brought here for some reason. So, alright.
Does it say ritual on the spell? Because then you don't have to lose a spot.
It does say ritual.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about detect magic or identify?
Identify.
Oh, that's heaps good. Nick.
Identify, you can do ritual, yeah.
So no spell slot burnt.
Just takes 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Alright. Let's see how the dice love me today.
Wait, before you do that, I will burn a spell slot for you. I will cast Enhance Ability.
Ooh.
All right.
And what do I want to increase? I probably want to increase your intelligence, right? Yeah, I'll increase your intelligence.
If that were possible.
So you get the fox cunning buff.
Mhm.
Okay. So you cast Identify and you reach out to touch the obelisk. Kind of similar to Kai. You don't really get anything at first. It's just a bit of rock. But why don't you roll an Arcana check for me as well to see how deep you can go on this.
Get to roll again because you had advantage.
Ah.
What?
Yeah, you can kind of tell. It's odd because you normally Identify from your experience. It will just tell you everything about it. Something elusive going on here. Some old sort of magic. It's something you're very unfamiliar with, so you're not quite sure what it is. It's definitely something. There's definitely some traces of magic in here, but you're just not quite sure what it actually does or what it's for. Kind of looking up, you can see it's like the top of it seems to be a bit broken or fractured. Maybe it's because the structure has been partially damaged or something over time and it's lost its actual purpose. But with a 13, yeah, you don't get much from it, unfortunately.
Can we climb it?
You can climb it if you like, yeah.
Is there any point to that? As you mentioned, the top of it's damaged, but we gain any more insight if we could see inside it?
It's quite high. It's like you'd have to be climbing up like 100 feet.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah.
Or should we just... If this wants to be known to us, it'll let us know.
One of the
Should
mysteries
we
of
just
the
move
world.
on?
I would like to say, what do these fucking magical folk know about anything? And I like to have a look at it myself.
Arendor's pissed off already.
Wasting time.
How are you taking a look?
They say it's magical. I want to see what I can work out.
All right, cool. This is going to be the last check because you can't really brute force. You can't brute force check. So this is the last one. If Erendor can't figure it out, then we got to move on. All right, give me your best Arcana check, Erendor. Yeah. I mean, it's old. Like there are these ruined structures all over the place, and they're a mystery to all sort of, novel and modern mages and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I just
We're
laugh.
wasting time here.
Yeah, I just laugh. Let's come back when we're older and wiser.
Yep. All right. So, what are we doing, guys?
We're off to find the ruins. The wonderful ruins of Oz.
Cool. So with that, if no one else wants to do anything else, yeah, then we can head inland along the small path, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Corpses have been offloaded, and yeah, we're now traveling slightly more lighter, back to how we were. Leah's jumping in the back again, Kai's up front, Valerian's up front, and we're rocking in. The road is now a bit more bumpy. There are, rocks and tufts of grass and stuff like that because it's not as nicely paved or flattened as the main road, but you can make your way fast enough anyway. You travel along for an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, as the sun starts setting, as you get towards the afternoon. The forest ahead of you getting closer and closer. And you probably reach the edge of the forest just about late afternoon, heading in towards evening, I would say, after a good few hours traveling. You're well in now from the ocean, and so the wind has died down a bit. It's not quite as cold, and as you get under the canopies, it almost becomes eerily still. Yeah. So why don't we do something like this? So once you get under the canopies, you can hear all manner of creatures now. There are birds, there are little growls and roars and stuff like that. Heading in a bit deeper, it becomes very dark quite quickly. The trees are kind of all growing together in a way that provide a blanket over the top, quite densely, to the point where it's very, the afternoon light that there is barely breaking through. Yeah.
I noticed this, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, up front.
As I notice it starts to get dark, I put my hand on Valerian's shoulder and I cast Eyes of the Night.
Okay. Great. There'll be a spell slot, right?
Nope.
Oh,
It's a
this
special
is the
ability.
feature. Yeah. Cool. All right, you have dark vision, Valerian. Great. So, the road itself stops really being a road and becomes more of just a path through the trees, which you can kind of try to follow. At some point, it will start becoming harder and harder, and you end up needing to sort of guess your best bet where it is actually, trying to go through. Over there, there's a wider gap between a bunch of trees. Maybe that's the right way, or carrying on straight ahead. Over that way, maybe that's the right way. You do remember Juliana had said that eventually the path should terminate somewhere in nearby the ruins. So since you haven't seen ruins at this point, you assume you are still on the path. Can someone make me a survival check to see how you're going through the forest?
I'll do it. Just to remind you though, Riv.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So what says you get to double your...
Oh,
proficiency
I'm not...
bonus?
Actually, shit, I'm not proficient in it anyway, so...
In survival?
Yeah, I'm not proficient in it. So it wouldn't add my proficiency anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I'll do... Will my +1 become a +2 then?
I think it doesn't say it gives you proficiency.
Proficiency the bonus is doubled.
Yeah, four
Yeah.
proficient
Proficient
skills.
skills, yeah, okay, so no, never mind.
Okay, but 10 is fine for the first check anyway. It's an increasing check. So you can pick the right path, and after a little while, you notice another track in the dirt. Some old cart or something has passed through here before, and so you get the feeling that you're still on the right road. Eventually, you notice it's a little stone structure over there. It's just a wall, maybe, or it's just a pile of stones. Kind of hard to really make out what it actually is constituting. It's old, though. The stones are cracked and covered in moss and vines and stuff like that. Yeah. And then another one over there to your left. Again, this one looks more pillar-like. And the forest itself is getting denser and denser. You hear every now and then like a screech of a bird over there. Some growl of some angry beast just like kind of echoes out through the woods from some distance away. Yeah. Okay. During this time, Erendor, have you taken the dagger back, or does Leah still have the dagger?
I will have taken it back.
Okay, cool. So she just sort of like tossed it over in her hands for a little bit, kind of checking it out. I think she was quite interested in the design of the hilt. And she does ask you, as you're sort of heading through the woods, just where you got it from. It's interesting. She likes it.
Oh, that's a while back.
Does Death Mouse want to make a history check in real life? And see
If I recall, you got
Yeah.
a goblin loot.
That's right.
Yeah, I was thinking that was the goblins.
Yeah.
That was a while back.
There's the goblins. Over a year ago, I'd say.
Long, long ago, in a cave deep down.
Realistically, only a couple of
Under
weeks
the
ago. But
misty mountain.
That was a while back.
yeah.
I mean, realistically.
Found in a goblin den. On it was what, 1-2 days after we met Lenny? Oi, cut.
Lenny. Yes.
3 weeks ago.
She's listening. She's raptured with your story.
I mentioned Lenny as a goblin.
Lenny the Goblin. You mean you met one of them?
Sorta. He's sort of like a acquaintance
Met
now.
is a strong term.
We rescue.
Gosh, I can't say I've ever seen a goblin before. Sounds very exciting.
You probably don't want to see a goblin.
All right. Take your word
They're
for
not
it.
normally very nice.
Yeah, I've heard.
They don't smell nice either.
Or look all that.
Not that bad compared to the dwarf.
I knew that was coming.
Leah chuckles a
Bathe
They
little
have
bit.
green blood like the elves.
So you can carry on chatting for a little bit while Rio makes another survival check.
Rio's just busy giving Dondar dirty looks.
Someone else can assist as well. I
Ondar is
assume,
pretending to look indifferent and ignore them.
Kai or Valoran up front, you can also help if you want to give advantage to the roll.
Oh yeah, I'll help.
Cool. So either 2 separate rolls or one with advantage.
Let's both roll, Kai.
Alright. Go, dice roll.
Right, good. 15. Yeah. So the stone structures start becoming more and more common. Here's like an archway that looks like it might have been part of a wall or something like that, and then both sides of it have just collapsed and crumbled away to nothing. Over there's the wall of some ancient building with like a little window slot in it. No back to the building at all. The stone seems, from just a quick glance, seems similar make to the obelisk you noticed down the shoreline. But it's almost been consumed by the forest. There's moss just all over they're cracked, and vines just absolutely gripping them and almost pulling them down into the ground from the looks of things. As we're getting further and further along, you kind of lose all semblance of the trail at this point. You get the feeling now that you're in the ruins, and the trail itself has terminated. And you just
Good for you to put a brake on the wagon.
yeah. Sorry. So what did you say?
That's probably a good cue to put a brake on the wagon.
Okay. Wagon can
Let's
come to a
move on.
halt.
Yeah. So you'll hear any campfires or friendlies around?
Yeah, great. Someone roll me a perception check.
Did someone say perception check?
I'll definitely do that one.
Yeah, go ahead. while you're doing that, I go, "Oi, Erendor, what are we doing here again at the ruins?"
All I know is we've got to meet the fine goal.
Plus 3 to
Oh,
that.
meet
Plus
meet
3
the
to that
f-
roof.
meet the fine goal.
Meet the fucker girls.
Do we know? Did we see any tracks headed this way?
You did.
We can barely see the ground.
Yeah, there was that one sort of maybe cart track you saw earlier after Rio got the survival check. But it's it's mossy and it's dirty. It's leaves blowing everywhere. It's sort of tracks aren't going to last very long in this forest. Cool. So with a 17, you don't hear anything. You don't see fire. You don't hear a crackling fire. There's something you do see though. At this point, inside the ruins, you can almost kind of see there's like this almost imperceptible shape and design to the ruins. It's like there are these circular, a circular layout almost. So where you're standing, if you look left and right of you, there's like a ruin there and another one, a ruin there. And as you sort of trace the line of the ruins, they almost seem to form this large sort of circle. And then in front of you, there's another layer of ruins again. And again, they're all sort of lined in the circle. It's almost like there are these concentric layers of buildings that are getting smaller and smaller in towards the center of the ruins.
Well.
Very strange.
As you're sort of sitting there deliberating, Leah just sort of whispers to you, Erendor, "Do you get the feeling we're being watched? I don't like it in these woods. It's scary."
Is the dagger behaving itself?
Yeah, seems to be okay.
It's not warned me of anything. I haven't seen anything, but I do feel a bit uneasy.
I would like to cast See Invisibility.
Okay.
So, in conjunction with my 300 feet of dark vision and seeing invisibility, do I see anything?
Yeah. No, you don't. It does not appear to be any invisible or ethereal creatures nearby.
Well, that's good. Because it lasts for an hour, so...
Cool. Yeah, good to know.
Maybe we should set up camp here until daylight and see what we can find.
How is it like full night roof or still daylight?
It's hard to tell under the forest, honestly. It's so dense that you imagine even in daylight it's still going to be pretty dark. But yeah, it's probably evening, I would say. Early evening at this point.
I mentioned to Rio, maybe climb a tree.
Tree, I'm going hunting.
I do not like that music.
All right, guys, what's the plan?
Set up camp.
Yeah, set up camp, and I would like to, in the center of the camp, wherever we're setting the camp, I'd like to also ritual cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Detect poison and disease. All right. What does that do? Sense the presence and location of poisons and poisonous creatures within 30 feet. All right.
Cool. While they're setting up camp, I'm going to go try and find some dinner.
Great. Cool. So,
And
Yep.
I would like to check if Leah has a weapon of some kind, even just a knife or a dagger.
yeah, you can ask her, and she'll show you within her pouch. She does actually have a small dagger. Good. Looks quite well maintained, actually. Cool. So, Rio's looking. You're hunting for food or something, are you?
Mm-hmm.
I need a survival check and a perception check.
And then a +3 to the perception. So a 10.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So with the perception check, you don't see or notice anything as you're, wandering around. You don't see any creatures. With your survival check, kind of keeping your eye down to look for tracks, I assume. Try and follow any creatures around. You don't notice any telltale prints of like deer. There's no hooves or anything like that. Eventually, you will find a very, very large paw print with claws. That clear claws that are sort of like gripped to the ground. It's probably like half a foot wide, and there's another couple beside it, and then a large space between them that might have jumped some distance away.
Whoop, is that you?
And with the survival check, sort of poking around through the ruins and looking around, I will say, up ahead of you, maybe 100 feet up, and then tucked in behind some stone walls, you see what looks like freshly dug earth or something like that, like soil that's been disturbed recently. Like there's like a slight raise, a slight mound of freshly dug dirt. It looks like it's been sort of flattened back down again, if that makes sense.
Does these paw prints, do I have any idea what they are?
Yeah, does this natural explorer in the forest.
Roll here. Let me confirm what the ability will be. I think it's going to be Arcana.
Not investigation.
Or nature.
Yeah, it's either going to be nature or Arcana. Let's go with nature. Do a really
Nature.
good, really good nature roll.
It's intelligence, but I'm not proficient.
Yeah. Yeah, unsure, unfortunately. But they're heading off out in outwards away from the ruins. So I didn't want to make it sound like the prints were heading towards the disturbed earth. They were you just sort of crossed their path.
Yeah, well,
Well, you can technically
Sounds like dinner is stalking us.
no, it's going away.
We're not
from
there.
us.
Yeah, this is Rio off by himself.
Oh,
Well, you can
I was
technically,
having a dream.
with your skill, Rio, if you can see how long that print was, how long ago it passed.
I was just going to check how big, in comparison to, let's say, my guy's hand, is this paw print?
Yeah, like it's like half a foot. So if you hold up your hands and measure half a foot, that's probably the width of it.
1,500. Yep.
So it's like if this is
So it's two hands.
if this
side by
is
side.
if this is your foot,
So it's a fairly big creature. So yes, okay.
it's probably like this.
Yeah, it's a big creature.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Right, I am not taking that on my own, and it's going away from us. I will leave that be and go. I can tell how long ago it passed. Yes, I can tell how long ago it passed.
Yep.
And if is it just on its own, or
Yeah, single set of tracks, and probably passed this way a couple of days ago.
cool? Yeah, not messing with that. Let's circle around.
Cool. You're going to leave the earth behind. I assume you'll just keep a mental track of where it was.
Oh, the fresh. I'll stab the dug up earth with my sword. See if I can knock a little bit of away. See if there's anything buried there.
Okay, so
I
like
have a
stab it
feeling
with
I know
your
what it is.
sword.
Yeah, I'll use my sword as sort of like a bit of a shovel, just to slap a bit of the dirt away.
Okay. You can like poke around a bit in there and start, trying to dig some stuff away. The sword goes in maybe half the length of the blade until it stops and hits something kind of, you poke it a bit, kind of feels soft.
Bloody.
Does it come out bloody or does it come out just dirt?
Little bit of blood.
Ugh.
Very, very little bit. Like dark black blood that looks quite old, maybe. I don't...
It's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting poop.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought someone had made a mess and covered it up.
Yeah, no, it seems like a bit of dark red blood. It's just on the end, the tip of your sword. But not a lot of it, just a, smudge.
Yeah, I'll make a note of where the area is and how to get back here. Come back with a couple of the other guys and some light, maybe. Some torches or something.
Okay. Cool. You can start heading your way back. Roll another perception check for me on the way back.
+3.
Oh, good job.
Cool. Keeping your eye out. You're pretty confident you aren't being stalked by any large foot-printed creature. But yeah, other than that, everything seems quiet at the moment. Under the trees. Well, other than the, birds and stuff like that. Great. Making your way back to the group. At this point, I assume the group, have you guys set up a campfire and you've taken the horses off the cart and...
Yes.
Cool. So Rio, you can make your way through trees and start seeing a bit of firelight ahead of you and easily enough to get back there.
I dig a shallow trench and use my decanter and fill it up with a bit of water for the horses.
Nice. Yeah, they were definitely going to die tonight if you didn't give them water. No, I'm kidding. I'm assuming that you've purchased feed and water for them and stuff like that. Actually, I'll calculate how many days of feed you need, and I'll put a message in the chat later.
We actually haven't bought food for ourselves, apart from the inn, for quite some time.
Yeah, that's boring, honestly. I'm not a big fan of worrying about that sort of stuff. I mean, we can if you guys want to. It's just not that fun.
God, please no.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how serious you were taking it. That's why I was like, oh, all right, my guy's going hunting just in case Riv's like... Yeah. You guys have had like no rations for 3 days, so you're like triple exhausted or some shit.
No, it's all good. We've been eating good berries the whole time.
Honestly, if you want to keep track of food and stuff, like I'm all good to do that as well, and like it makes it fun for you, Rio, to have to go and hunt. But I'm not worried just hand waving it, to be honest, because it's
Yeah, any days we don't hunt, I just good berry it.
I just assume Rio's constantly hunting, or you've like spent a few silver in towns to buy rations and stuff like that. That's all good.
Unless you're doing like a hardcore wilderness survival campaign, like if you walk into a town in D&D with a gold point piece, you can buy a lot of basics.
Yeah, I think a gold buys your rations for like 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah. So. Cool.
We're retiring, everybody. We're buying rations for years.
Pretty much. So yeah, Rio, you find your group who have now settled down around some around the fire, and they're feeding the horses and maybe having some food themselves.
Yeah, I hold back the urge to loose an arrow to scare Dundar. Just walk back into camp.
Cool.
Dundar suspects nothing.
No sign of the fine golds out there?
No game either, unfortunately. Just some tracks, something big, and something buried out there. Sort of hoping one or two of you would come and give me a hand digging this thing up. I'm guessing it's a body. I'm not 100% sure. There's something. It's dead, but it's buried, so it just makes me wonder.
I'm hoping you just didn't answer my question. Are other fine golds out there?
I didn't think about that, but whoops.
That's disturbing.
Well, it's getting dark, I think.
We'll
And
check in the
whatever's
morning.
there's probably not going to be moving real quick tonight. Large beast in the area, so I highly recommend.
Oh, the tracks were a few days old. He should be gone, but
Might be patrolling his territory, maybe, or her, or whatever it is.
Hunting for fresh elf.
Or unknown territory, and we have 2 4-legged giant bags of meat over there, so that's going to draw anything in that's hungry.
Should we make a makeshift barricade of some sort, like sharpened stakes around the area?
Probably couldn't hurt to throw a couple in if we got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do like a full barricade, but maybe just
Something better than nothing.
a couple of obvious thoroughfares.
Alright, let's start working on that. Who's got an axe or a hatchet?
I've got a great sword.
I have an axe. 2
Alright.
axes even.
Alright, I'll
I'm
help.
not sure they're suitable for this.
Well, what have I got? What can I...
But then again, I haven't used my axe for literally anything. So it might as well be for cutting sticks.
Sure, I'll give you a hand.
Cool. All right. So you're going to start carving up some stakes, are you? And just sort of like plonking them around
Yeah.
the campfire a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obvious paths in
Cool.
to slow anything down that wants to run at us in the night.
Cool. Horses, are they tied?
I guess we do the old.
Yes,
They do. They drive a stake in, and then you tie them to the stake.
Cool.
tie him to a tree.
All right. All right. So the let's do this one.
I just thought of a great idea. I'm gonna use the decanter of endless water, and I can make water trenches. I just blast trenches of water into the ground.
When did we pick one of them up?
I bought it for like 1,000 gold, dude.
Oh yeah, you bought it last session. That's right.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna seal off areas with water, make water trenches with the geyser effect.
You
Fair
got to dig
enough.
the trenches first.
I use the water to like a hydro, like a pressure washer.
Okay, great.
Wherever, with the guidance of Valoran, where to strategically place them.
Won't go too crazy with it because it'll probably take us all night to fortify anything serious. So
Yeah.
All good. I just realized that I've had all 3 of my browser windows playing music. I hope that's not going to be super fucking wacky in the recording. Never mind. I don't think it was too badly out of sync because otherwise it would have sounded horrible through my own output. All good. Cool. So yeah, you can spend a bit of time cutting some stakes and stuff like that, barricading the area, but you're going to make a little moat or a trench or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
strategic
bit of
mini
difficult
moats
terrain.
around the place.
Yeah, cool. Okay, fantastic. So the evening comes around and birdsong starts to disappear to get replaced with crickets and other, owl sounds, and again roars off in the distance or small animal chirping here, and all sorts. Just it's a busy forest, but difficult to really kind of see anything just because of how dense it is. There's so many structures around, and the trees itself almost seem to be choking the all space around you. So if you hunker down to sleep for the night, Leah's going to hop up into the cart and just, assuming the cart is close enough to the fire as well, and bundle up in there. And the rest of you can be wherever you want to be. Let's do a couple of perception checks as we do night shifts, assuming you want to do night shifts.
Sure. Who's on mid-watch?
Hey, quick reminder, Riv, how long are each one of these watches?
So over an 8-hour period, you need to sleep for 6 hours, I believe, is the rule. And so that means as long as, if you want to get a long rest, as long as you personally get 6 hours, then it's good. So I think what you want to do is...
I need less, though.
You can do it with less. So I think the way it would normally work out for a group of humans, it would be you'd want to do 2-hour shifts, and you'd have 4 shifts of 2 hours. But I think
we're
we've been
doing 4 shifts now.
I think we've been doing 3 because you're an elf, so you don't need as much.
Yeah, I only need 4 hours. So.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll keep doing 3 shifts then. All right. So who's taking first shift then?
I'll do it first.
Alright, I pass you the horn I procured from Skyreach, from one of the guards. They go, if anything happens, wake us all, and then pass it to the next guy. The horn, as in, yeah.
Alright, look at the horn, look at our party that's all within, like, spitting distance of each other and go...
You know what?
Hey, it might alert the Feingolds.
Yeah, it might be good. It might be bad, but I don't know.
Cool.
Alright, I would like to also cast Vigilant Blessing on myself before I nap.
I'll take third watch.
As long as it doesn't bring the Pevensey kids, we should be fine.
Cool. All right. Is anyone up with Valorant as well, or are we taking one-person shifts?
Be 2 people if we can manage it.
Yeah, I'll take the second shift. I won't take that. Okay. Who's with Val?
Onda.
All right. You can roll a perception as well if you want, Dundar.
Here. Persuasion? No.
Persuade the darkness to tell you what's out there.
Fuck me.
Yeah. Everything seems quiet.
Better get good attack rolls.
Yeah. Get them all out of the way now. A couple of hours go by. Everything seems quiet. The fire's just crackling away. Crickets are still chirping. And yeah, everything passes by on this shift with no concerns. So we can move over to the next people.
Yeah. I pick up the horn.
I'd say I should lie awake and hand him the horn.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Man.
Alright, just hang the horn around my neck. And, yeah.
Cool.
Take my position near the fire.
And who is anyone else with Kai?
I'll be with. And I would like to remind Kai to please not deafen us with the horn, because my dagger will wake us.
Oh, don't worry, I'll blow it in backwards, you know?
Yeah. Hearing a bit of rustling, Leah's gonna roll out from under the cart and come over and sit by the fire during this shift as well, and just sort of hang out with you all. Any round then, she'll pull out her locker and just sort of look into it again. So, let's get perception checks from you two. And also, one of you roll me a d20. Just a flat d20.
Yep, rolling d20. Where is it?
Go dice roll.
Okay. Good. Yeah, good rolls. You're sure in the distance with your, I believe, Kai, you had Vigilant Blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the one that gives you dark vision, right? You just have dark vision.
No, I have dark
naturally?
vision.
Yeah.
Just naturally for 300 feet.
You're sure you see a fairly large shadowy form passing between some ruins, like hundreds of feet away, down a line along one of these sort of curved things that just vanishes past. Other than that, you don't hear or see anything.
I motion to Erendor. Hear that? Oh, I point into the direction. Or am I gone?
No, you're
No,
there.
Death Mouse is.
Someone's gone.
He's gone.
There he is.
Discord.
All right.
Okay. Last thing I heard was Vigilant Blessing.
All right. Well, I see a shadow, a couple of 100 feet out towards yay direction, and I point it out to you. I go, "Do you hear anything that way?"
Well, I can't see anything out that far.
Leah sort of pokes her head up as well, but again, she can't really see much past the campfire light radius. But no, you don't see anything else out there.
How many feet, roughly?
A couple hundred, maybe.
Oh, okay. Too far to cast the spell.
Yeah, not super close.
All right. Well then. I'm tempted to wake everybody, but it's a couple of 100 feet away, so maybe I'll wait it out.
Okay.
What's that you've been playing with, Lee?
Oh, this? She, holding this. It's like points it towards you. It's like an octagonal brass sort of, box-like locket, right? When the top is currently popped open, angles it towards you, and inside you can see there's a bit of paper or vellum or something like that with a sketch of two people that are just sort of looking towards the perspective of the drawing and smiling. It's just something to remember them by, It's all I've got left from old life.
I understand that.
She snaps the lid shut and just puts it down back between her down her shirt. Another half an hour goes by. No movement. No sounds. Owls chirp. And then another half an hour goes by and your shift comes to an end.
Alright. I take the horn off around my neck and I proceed to pass it to the next person, but before I do pass it, I mentioned to them I saw a shadow a couple of 100 feet out. No threat, but keep your eyes out and your ears open.
Cool. All right. The early morning shift. Who's taking this one?
That's me.
Alrighty. There's you. Perception check.
$12.
Yeah. All good, actually. Absolutely nothing. I think you've got good dark vision as well, right?
90 foot.
Yeah. No, all good. No signs of any additional shadows now. It seems like whatever it was passing through, checking things out, but hasn't come any closer. And your shift comes to an end with no disturbance as the forest around you starts to become just ever so slightly lighter as whatever light from the rising sun manages to get in between the branches and the foliage. And the rest of you can slowly begin to get roused awake.
Had a successful long rest.
Yeah, take your long rests.
And as the camp's waking up, I'll do the usual wander around, check people's gear, make sure their armor straps are all sitting, bowstrings are oiled, magic spells prepared for the day, the prepared casters.
Yeah.
So everyone's tip-top on their game, got that what they want ready to go. And give everyone a D8 for a sparring leader. Actually, what is it? Extra 8 temp HP to start the day.
Nice.
Nice.
How many people can you do that to?
I believe it's 6.
So Leah would get this
allies,
as well.
including myself. So yeah, Leah can have it as well.
All right. So do you roll it?
Just a straight. It's based on my charisma bonus.
Oh, nice. Do you say
Straight 8.
8? Incredible.
Good stuff.
Cool.
You said you can give it to 6 people.
Yep.
Might as well
Everyone.
give it to the kid too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done that.
Just added it on. Yeah. It's a strong looking kid now. All right, so as the dawn comes, what's the plan? What are we doing?
Sounds like we got ourselves a bit of grave robbing.
Yeah.
Shall we check out that thing? See if that thing you saw last night's still there, or do you want to go check out this thing I found?
I just want to do a
See if
quick
you can
once
find
over.
any tracks that way.
Yeah, around the camp. Yeah,
Cool.
I want to do a perception check around the camp. See if any tracks came close to the camp.
Yeah, go for it. This will be a investigation.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
Yep, or survival, whatever you feel like.
I should have went to survival. Never mind. It's all good.
All good. Yeah, no, nothing seems. You don't see any tracks close to the camp. Did you want to go and look further away as well, where you saw the shadow?
Not yet. I'll make a note to everyone that I did see a shadow out a couple 100 feet
Cool.
in that direction.
Yep. Alrighty. So, as we get ready to pack up and start doing something, are we going to bring the horses with us now, or are we leaving them here?
The meat sacks. Don't we have to bring them?
Meat shields.
I don't think
Probably
we
should.
I would imagine these ruins probably don't have a whole lot of thoroughfare cut room through them.
Yeah, you probably can go a little bit further, but at this point, it's going to get the going's going to get tough.
I mean, we could leave the cart behind and just bring the 2 horses along with us at least.
Oh, that's a good idea. Just take the horses and leave the cart. You can come back for the cart. Nothing's going to attack the cart, really, right?
Those goblins, they'll strip it down to the rims.
The cart that runs on rims.
He means to the nails.
Hmm.
You
Alrighty.
folks bring them along if you want.
Cool.
Yeah, if you want the horse, Rio, go for it.
Oh, I'm not riding it, but we shouldn't leave it here.
Cool. So you're going to
It
just
can't
leave
really
them?
fend for itself unless we're going to let them go.
Actually, you know what? We get Leah to ride a horse. She got shorter legs, right? And we get Donda to ride the horse.
Leah just says, probably be more comfortable on my feet, just in case. Easier to hide, you know?
But it's faster to run, right?
In these woods? I don't know if the horse is going to be able to go that fast.
That's true. Don't worry, we're here.
She gives you a faint smile. Nervous smile, maybe.
All right, I will walk with the horse.
Alrighty. Horses in tow being led. Where are we off to?
Shallow grave.
I'll take point and lead people back to where I found that pile.
Cool. All right. So yeah, the way is sort of it angles off to the left from the direction that you came, following loosely one of these big open concentric circles of ruins. Every now and then you have to duck in to avoid a bunch of trees and then get back onto the outside again, sort of picking your way slowly through. Every now and then you have to almost manhandle one of the horses to lift them up and over and convince them to get through small gaps and stuff like that. But after half an hour or so, you get back to this sort of place, the general location that Rio was before, and easy enough since he is comfortable in the forest. He can lead you back to the place, and yeah, just over there, behind the same ruined wall, you can see the fresh pile of dirt.
Riv,
Mm-hmm.
difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel
Okay, cool.
as a part of the thing. Just saying out loud.
Yep, yeah. No, good to know. So, travel was good. Just I guess
Sorry.
flavorful.
Plenty of roughage.
Yeah, just flavor text, but Nothing you can't handle. Alrighty, so yeah, you arrive at the spot.
So yeah, this is I thought it was something else to start with, and then yeah, a bit of blood was on the edge of my sword when I poked it.
All right, can someone hold the horse? I want to do something cool.
Does this look dug or does it look clawed? Scraped.
That's an interesting question. What would we do for that? Probably investigation?
I mean, it'd be pretty obvious difference.
Or survival, or nature.
Yeah. Super easy roll.
Perception?
Investigation.
I'm not good with that.
Cool. You don't see any claw marks or anything like that around, no.
Okay, so this could be people dug. Rightio, well, as you were, Kai.
Okay. I said you guys noticed that it was buried. I cast spiritual weapon in the shape of a shovel.
Oh my gosh. I'll allow it. That is cool. Fair enough. So you, I guess, describe. I think this is the first time you've cast your spiritual weapon.
Yeah,
so
it's the
describe
first
it.
time.
I think I know what it looks like, but why don't you let the others know?
This is a shovel, so it's not the scythe I was thinking about, you know?
I assume
But
it's made of the same material, though.
yeah, it has a luminous bluish moon-like glow. It's kind of ethereal in shape, but it's like a nicely crafted shovel.
Imagine this, but in shovel form. That was what you sent me, right, Kai?
Where did you post this?
See on the thing there? Can you not see anything?
Oh, right. I thought it was Discord. Sorry, I alt tabbed.
Oh, no, in the thing.
Yeah, it's like that. Something like that,
So
but
it's
in
kinda
a shovel
starry.
form.
Yeah.
It's like a starry, moony type shovel.
Yep.
And I get away at digging with this ethereal shovel.
All right. Starts digging away. Are you holding it with your hands or are you controlling it with your mind?
With my mind.
Fair enough. Don't want to get your hands dirty. Vale. I've got those daggers in the game.
Trying to remember. I know there's a few weapons like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take very long. It's probably a foot or two down before it starts kind of hitting something, and you can use it to start scraping away the soil. And sure enough, yeah, you notice a bit of fabric. And as you start digging away at a bit more, you can notice a bit of skin. How deep are we going?
We're gonna dig all around the body and unearth it. Yeah.
All right. A few minutes go by as you start scraping
Exhuming
stuff
the
around.
corpse.
Yeah. Start scraping around the sides, and eventually you will start to uncover what looks like the body of a man, fairly large man, a little bit rotund. You eventually have dug down far enough to be able to start scraping away the dirt from the face, and you do recognize this person. This is Harland Feingold. And as you clear away the rest of the dirt from around the head, you notice that the throat has deeply been cut, and there's blood that is just pulled down the front of the chest.
Cut or rip?
Neatly
Or
sliced.
slashed.
Neatly sliced.
Damn it.
And I think we're going to break there, because I have to go to bed soon. And I think that's a pretty good stopping point.
Yeah, that's a good stopping point.
All right.
Well, I feel bad now.
We don't know anything.
I poked him with a sword.
Yeah, we don't know that.
All right.
Well,
Well,
might have been alive at that point.
Would it be fun if he grunted or something?
Rio, no.
Well, sleeping underground, hiding. I don't know.
Buried under 2 foot
Off
of
the
dirt. Yeah,
slashed
sure.
neck.
Buried under
Maybe
a
it was
foot
the
of dirt.
sword that slashed his neck.
that little jab.
Yeah.
I don't think Riv would be that cruel to me.
Yeah. No, I
Poke
mean
through
from
the
a
dirt.
Don't tempt the DM.
from a quick glance, it looks like it's not days old. It's probably a few days old, maybe a few days to a week. The body has already begun to, get to the point where it's not fresh blood anymore. So like when you stabbed it with your sword, there wasn't just like gushes of blood coming out. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, very good. I'll